All right, what is up, you dirty motherfuckers? And we are back with the Syndrome series. I did one on uh who did I do one on? Eli Manning and Giants fans. I did one on Steph Curry and James Harden, Damian Lillard, and all those types of fans. And now we're gonna do one on Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes is a superstar quarterback for the Kansas City Chiefs, the waste of space Kansas City with all the white trash that lives there. And they all love Mahomes. Even though they don't like black people, but they all love Mahomes. But there is a Patrick Mahomes syndrome, specifically in the NFL and in college football. Similar to Tom Brady, which I will be doing a Tom Brady syndrome video soon, but we're talking about Mahomes here, where teams like the 49ers and the Green Bay Packers think they found the next Mahomes when it's looking like they did not. But, you know, we're going to look at this, man. And I'm going to explain. Now, I am a Oklahoma fan. Oklahoma is one of the two teams that I like. I knew who Patrick Mahomes was. Patrick Mahomes was this kid right here, man. Patrick Mahomes was an amazing raw talent at Texas Tech. Go back, and I think I said this in my Oklahoma, my top 5 favorite Oklahoma Sooners players games. Go back and watch Texas Tech versus Oklahoma, Baker versus Patrick Mahomes. Even then, I saw this guy has an amazing arm. He can scramble. He is an amazing raw talent. Amazing raw talent. No question about it. This dude is a once-in-a-generational talent that everybody's overlooking, and which a lot of teams fucking did. The Bears, who else overlooked them? The Giants, my fucking Giants, because John Mayer looked at his skin color and said, ooh, too black. Who else overlooked them? The Niners, if you want to, speaking of the Niners, we're going to talk about them soon. But a lot of teams looked over him because he was a Texas Tech quarterback and no one really cared about him. But after Mahomes went to the Chiefs, and shout out to Andy Reid for giving him a chance, and we see what Mahomes is: 4 straight AFC Championship games, 4 straight Pro Bowls, MVP, Super Bowl winner, been the back-to-back Super Bowls, AFC champion twice. I mean, Mahomes, besides maybe Brady, he's probably had the most successful career for 4 to 5 year. He only started for 4 years, but he's been in the league for 5 years, and he's basically overachieved everything he has. If overachieve is the word, he's already successed a lot of things. But there is a stench of Patrick Mahomes syndrome in the NFL and in college football, like I said beginning of this video, where people want to find the next Patrick Mahomes. And the question really is there another Patrick Mahomes? Will there ever be another Patrick Mahomes? Now, let's go to sportsreference.com, where we're going to look at Patrick Mahomes' college years. Now, Patrick Mahomes, okay, we're going to, skip over his freshman year. He didn't even really start, to be honest with you. Only threw for 15,000 yards, 16 touchdowns and 4 interceptions. Cool. We're going to talk about 2015 and 2016, his sophomore year, where he started all 13 games. He threw for over 46,000 yards, 36 touchdowns, and 15 interceptions, with a 64 completion percentage. That is amazing. That is outstandingly amazing. 2016, his last year with the Big 12. This is the year where him and Baker Mayfield put up 60 to 70 points in that Oklahoma versus Texas Tech game, which I do recommend to go watch the highlights or go watch the full game. It was an amazing game from start to finish. I was on the edge of my seat watching that back in 2016 when I was in high school, and the dude threw for over 5,000 yards, 41 touchdowns to 10 interceptions. That is just amazing right there. You can't teach that. That dude had raw talent. Now, is it a benefit that he went to Andy Reid, who's one of the best offensive gurus in the NFL and what the NFL's seen? Absolutely. Absolutely. But at the same time, You can clearly tell by these stats from his last 2 years. We're not even going to count 2014 because he wasn't starting. So we're really not going to count that. But even that, I don't think he was starting in 16 touchdowns to 4 interceptions. That's not bad. Those for 15,000 yards, that's not bad. But his last 2 years in 2015 and 2016, that's amazing. That is amazing stats. Now let's move on to Trey Lance. Trey Lance was supposed to be the quote-unquote next Patrick Mahomes. Now, and this is just me personally, I believe 49ers fans, all these idiots on Twitter, all these media idiots, whether it's in college football or in the NFL, say, oh, Trey Lance or Jordan Love, who we're going to get to, say, oh, he's the next Mahomes because let's be fair, he's light-skinned, he probably had a big arm in college, and he could scramble around a little bit like Mahomes. But once again, we looked at Patrick Mahomes' stats, and we saw that this dude is fucking amazing. He's amazing. But are we sure Trey Lance is the next Patrick Mahomes 49ers fans? It's not looking at right now. It's not looking like it right now. Where the hell's Trey Lance now? He's somewhere in the hospital crying with a broken fucking foot. And he didn't look that good against the Bears. He didn't look that good against what was it, the Seattle game he got injured in? And hell, even last year when you guys started him when Jimmy G got injured, he didn't look that fucking good. But let's look at his stats in college. And maybe I'm missing something. So in 2018, we're not going to count 2018 as a freshman. Freshmen don't really start. I mean, he probably only started one game because he only has 12 yards, so we're going to skip that. So let's go to his sophomore year where we started off with Patrick Mahomes. Those for 27,000 yards. 27,000 yards with 28 touchdowns and 0 interceptions. Now, people are going to say, oh, he threw for 28 touchdowns and 0 interceptions. That's amazing. Okay, I mean, that's good. But let's put this in context. It's North Dakota State. What big competition were they versing? What big competition was North Dakota State really competing against? I mean, come on, man. At least Mahomes was going up against Oklahoma and Texas and who else is in the Big 12? Baylor and TCU, Kansas State. We have some competition in the Big 12. We have more competition than his fucking conference. Now let's look in 2020. 2020, granted, it was the COVID year, so he didn't start. Oh, I don't even think they played, but he didn't play that much, and he throws for 149 for 2 touchdowns, 1 interception, and 50% completion percentage. So I'm assuming he didn't play that much. Well, he didn't play that much. But once again, 49ers fans, and just 49ers fans, people in the media, college media, why were you hyping him up? Trey Lance was not that good. He had one good year in college. And do we even call that a good year? It looks mediocre to me, if you ask me, his sophomore year. Okay, he threw for 27,000 yards and 28 touchdowns. Whoop-de-fucking-do. Whoop-de-fucking-do against a weak competition. What did he accomplish for you guys to sit here and say he's the next Patrick Mahomes or even think he's the next Patrick Mahomes? It absolutely makes no sense to me how people, anytime a quarterback who's overlooked like a Mahomes, like a Brady, which once again, I'm not going to go fully in on Brady because I'm going to do the Tom Brady syndrome video soon. But once again, when we look at someone like a Mahomes who was overlooked and we see what he's done, 4 straight AFC championship games, the Super Bowl winner, Super Bowl MVP, been to back-to-back Super Bowls, MVP, he's breaking all these stats, and he's probably going to go to the second round this year, looking like it. We see what he does, and we want to look for the next guy. And what we look for is someone who looks like him. Trey Lance, he's skinny like Mahomes. He's tall. He had an amazing arm. He can scramble like Mahomes in college. He has the afro little thing like Mahomes does. He's light skinned. And people think he was the next Patrick Mahomes. I'm sorry to tell you this. He's not the next Patrick Mahomes. Honestly, I don't even think Trey Lance is that good. I don't think he has that good of an arm. I think he has no touch on the ball. He has a good deep arm, but I mean, it kind of floats a little bit. He's mobile, and now he's injured. And look at it like this, 49ers fans. You guys were more competitive with Jimmy Garoppolo than you were with Trey Lance. That's just a fact. The team looks like they want to play for Jimmy Garoppolo more than Trey Lance. Am I saying Trey Lance is a bad guy? No, but at the same time, it's like, come on. What are we talking about here? What are we talking about here? And there's nothing against Trey Lance. Can Trey Lance prove me wrong? Absolutely. But what indicated that he was the next Mahomes? It wasn't in college. It had to be the way how he looked. Or his play style in college, because his stats don't show it. And did his play style in college even show that? I mean, let's be for real. Isn't it a rumor that Kyle Shanahan wanted Mac Jones over Trey Lance because Mac Jones was more pro-ready? Mac Jones looked better in college than Trey Lance. And listen, I'm not the biggest Mac Jones fan at all. I think he's fucking god-awful. And we're going to get to that when I do my Tom Brady syndrome video soon. But, I mean, that was a rumor. I mean, here's my question to you 49ers fans. If Kyle Shanahan believed in Trey Lance, if he believed Trey Lance was the next Mahomes, or if he believed Trey Lance was the next future, why did he keep Jimmy Garoppolo? I mean, look at history, 49ers fans. Let's look at it like this. The Packers believed in Aaron Rodgers. So what did they do? They got rid of Brett Favre. The Cowboys believed in Dak Prescott. So what did they do? They got rid of Tony Romo. Now, granted, he did retire, but it is what it is. My Giants, we believed Eli Manning was the guy. We got rid of Kurt Warner. It's simple math. When you believe you have that guy, you get rid of the other guy. Hell, Niner fans, you guys believed in Steve Young. Where did Joe Montana go? Y'all kicked him out. You kicked him out. We see what franchise thinks of quarterbacks when they keep the quarterback before them. Look at the Eagles. Carson Wentz was balling out in 2017. And when he got injured and they kept Nick Foles, when he got injured, and Nick Foles brought him to a Super Bowl. By the way, fuck the Patriots for letting the Eagles win that Super Bowl. I'm still mad about that shit. But besides that point, they won the Super Bowl. They were like, we don't know who the guy is anymore. Because Nick Foles played great in the playoffs. Carson Wentz played great in the regular season. Let's keep them both. That hurts a quarterback, especially in their confidence. And once again, if you believe you had that guy, why the hell did you guys keep Jimmy Garoppolo? The Packers didn't keep Brett Favre. The Giants didn't keep Kurt Warner. I mean, come on now. Hell, speaking of Patrick Mahomes, Andy Reid got rid of Alex Smith because he thought Mahomes was the guy. You don't keep the replacements the guy. You don't keep the guy who's being replaced. You let him go if you believe you had the guy. I'm sorry to tell you that, Niners. I don't think Trey Lance is that good. And I think you guys bust at a quarterback. But good thing is you got Jimmy G. I mean, he was going to take you to a second, third round and lose. But that, let's talk about Jordan Love. He's the originator of, he's a Patrick Mahomes quarterback. Trey Lance is the second that I heard of this. Jordan Love is the originator. Now, Jordan Love is the quarterback who got drafted out of Utah State to the Green Bay Packers. And let's be for real, he fucking sucks ass. And let's look at his stats in college. Now, once again, looks like he did start in 2017, or at least started more games than Trey Lance and Patrick Mahomes, and he threw for 16,000 yards, 8 touchdowns to 6 interceptions. Not good. But we're going to start with his sophomore year where he threw for over 35,000 yards, 32 touchdowns to 6 interceptions. But once again, what competition is that? What competition is that? He had the same competition as Trey Lance. They didn't even have the same competition as Patrick Mahomes did. The Big 12 is better than this conference, the MWC conference. I'm forgetting that conference name is slipping my name right now. But at the same time, it's like the Big 12 had more competition than Trey Lance and fucking Jordan Love's competition. So they're putting up mediocre stats in lesser competition, where Mahomes was putting up big stats in better competition than Trey Lance's and Jordan Love's college competition. And then his last year in 2019, he threw for over 34,000 yards, 20 touchdowns, and 17 interceptions. That's not good. Isn't it funny how their sophomore year, when no one has film on them, people know how to, when people, they put up these big numbers, or at least big numbers throughout their whole college career. And then when people have film on them in their junior year, their stats go down. We saw with Trey, well, Trey Lance didn't play, but it didn't look like he was going to do that much because the stats weren't that impressive. The one game he played in, looks like it for Jordan Love. Looks like it for Jordan Love. But once again, this is the Patrick Mahomes syndrome. Why did you guys draft him over getting a receiver or getting a defensive end or defensive back for Aaron Rodgers? Packer fans, here's my question. And I honestly, and Packer fans, you guys are also white trash, just like Kansas City fans, you fat son of a bitches. But here's my question, Packer fans. You guys were happy about the Jordan Love pick at first. Now, looking at how he looked against the Chargers back in 2020 when Aaron Rodgers was out with COVID, and looking how he does in preseason, it seems like you guys are off it. But here's my question. Why don't you guys hold accountable the Packers for doing that dumb shit? Why aren't you guys shitting on the organization? Why? Jordan Love is not that good. And we can see he's not that fucking good from how he plays in the NFL. Why aren't you guys shitting on your organization and say you guys are idiots for passing over a wide receiver, a running back, an offensive lineman, a DB, a defensive end, something to get this guy who sucks ass? And my question here is this. Why did you guys draft him in the first place? You know why? It's because it's the Patrick Mahomes syndrome. It's the Patrick Mahomes syndrome. You guys saw a light-skinned quarterback who was probably making crazy throws in college for Utah State. But where did that get you? Nowhere. Because he's trash. He's garbage. We can see it. And I'm going to ask you the same in Packer fans. And for all the Packer fans who believe in Jordan Love and he has to develop or this, that, and the third, here's my question. If they believe Jordan Love is the answer, if they believe Jordan Love is the guy to come after Aaron Rodgers, to replace Aaron Rodgers, right? Why did they re-sign Aaron Rodgers to a 3-4 year deal for millions of dollars? Why is that? If you have the guy, why are you keeping the old guy? Once again, speaking of Mahomes, and Andy Reid, though, he found a diamond in the rough, and guess what? He got rid of Alex Smith, who was an average quarterback, making them to the playoffs, for Patrick Mahomes because he believed he had the guy. Joe Montana won the 49ers 4 Super Bowls, and the 49ers looked at Steve Young and said, he's the guy. He's the next guy. We're getting rid of Montana. Hell, Packer fans, you guys are in the same boat with 49ers fans. The 49ers experienced it with Montana and Steve Young. You guys experienced it with Rodgers and fucking Brett Favre. The Packers were like, we believe Rodgers is the guy. See you later, Favre. See you later. You retire, you're done with us. We're moving on to Aaron Rodgers. But yet, you guys did the complete opposite and kept Aaron Rodgers. You guys kept Aaron Rodgers and making Jordan Love sit. Now, would it shock me if you guys cut Jordan Love next year? Would it really shock me if you guys cut Jordan Love next year? No, it wouldn't. Because he is not the guy. He is a product of, he's the originator of the Patrick Mahomes syndrome, where you looked at some guys, some from little school, doing some crazy shit, like probably running around and throwing the ball 50 yards down the field or whatnot, and shit like that. And you were like, oh my gosh, he's light-skinned. He's throwing like Mahomes in college against lesser competition and putting up worse stats than Mahomes did with Texas Tech. So let's draft him. Instead of helping our franchise quarterback that we have now, our 4-time MVP, the guy who won us the Super Bowl and Super Bowl MVP, and the only reason why we're fucking relevant, no, let's draft this guy. Let's draft him. So once again, and it's nothing against all these guys, but at the same time, there is a Patrick Mahomes stench in the NFL. And Trey Lance and Jordan Love are the prime examples of it. Listen, at the end of the day, I get Patrick Mahomes he's a diamond in the rough. But here's the thing, a diamond in the rough guy is a diamond in the rough for a reason. He's a special breed. Whoever missed out on Patrick Mahomes, and trust me, I fucking hate my Giants, and I hate John Mara for firing Jerry Reese and Ben McAdoo for saying, let's get Mahomes. I really fucking do. John Mara can kiss my ass. But whoever passed on Mahomes has to deal with it. Or they have to hope and pray that he, in the next 5 to 7 years, says, fuck the Chiefs, I want to leave, and then maybe you can scoop him up. But at the end of the day, Trey Lance, Jordan Love, and whoever they're going to hype up next, saying that they're the next Patrick Mahomes because they're light skinned and they got the hair and they can do, and they were running and they threw the ball on 1 foot down the field 60 yards and got a touchdown, saying that he's the next Patrick Mahomes. He's not. He's not. Let the Packers and let the 49ers be an example for that. Let Trey Lance and let Jordan Love show you that. And do me a favor, go look up the stats and put the stats in context before you say he's the next Patrick Mahomes. Please do that. But but let me know, what do you guys think, man? I just wanted to make this video. I really have fun making these syndrome videos. I had fun making the Eli Manning one. I had fun making the Steph Curry one, and I had a good time making the Patrick Mahomes one. Now this one is not as long as Curry's and Eli Manning's because this is not really like a career thing. I mean, we did look at their college career, but it was only like 3 years for each, so that's 9 years. It wasn't like a whole full career, because let's be for real, Mahomes only played 4 years in the NFL, and Trey Lance started like 7 games in the NFL, and Jordan Love only started like 2 in the regular season, like 2. I don't even think did Jordan Love started 1 game in a regular season, and that was against the Chiefs, which they lost, and he looked god awful. So I mean, hey, it is what it is, man. But I still do have fun making these syndrome videos. I have a lot more coming. Like I said, Brady and some other basketball players and football players. But yeah, man, let me know what you guys think, man. All you Niners fans, all you Packers fans, hell, even Chiefs and Mahomes fans. Let me know if you guys agree, disagree, say some good things or say some fucking bad things. I really don't care, man. But that's my opinion, man. What's yours, man? But yeah, RJ out.